All right, these are pretty fun. I like these ones. The deal here is we've got absolute value equations. And an absolute value equation is literally just an equation that has absolute value bars in it. First thing to notice, these absolute value bars are not the number one. They're kind of like parentheses, but they do something special. Anything that's inside the absolute value just becomes positive. That's what the absolute value does. Now, when we're solving, that means we have to be a little bit thoughtful about how we do this. The first step of solving one of these is not so bad. Anything that's on the outside of the absolute value bars, you just go ahead and deal with that first. So here I've got a plus 6 outside my absolute value. So I'll do minus 6, and I like to draw my vertical line. You don't have to, just to sort of keep the left and right side separated. I think it helps. So we subtract 6 on both sides. Over here, you're just left with the absolute value of 4x plus 2. And over here, 16 minus 6 is 10. Next interesting bit, as soon as you get to this situation where you have the absolute value of some stuff equals a number, that's where you got to do some thinking. Remember, the absolute value says basically the positive version of 4x plus 2 equals 10, which means the stuff inside the parentheses could be one of two things. It could be equal to 10, or it could be equal to negative 10. So we actually have to shorten our line down here because there's two possibilities, and we got to split to look at both. Possibility number one is that this stuff inside here just equals 10. So 4x plus 2 just equals the number 10. Possibility number 2 is that it's the same thing, but the stuff on the inside, 4x plus 2, could equal negative 10. Because if this stuff was equal to negative 10, you have a negative 10 inside here, when you take the absolute value, it would still be 10. So that's another possibility that also works. So now we sort of draw our two separate lines, and we're just solving two separate equations. At this point, there's really no tricks. We can subtract 2 from both sides, and over here you get 4x equals 8. And over here, when you subtract 2 from both sides, you get 4x equals negative 12. Then on both of them, we're going to divide by 4, everywhere. Over here, 4x divided by 4 is x equals 2. And over here, we get x equals negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. And so you get solution number 1, solution number 2. And on the test or something, you would say it could be this or this. You need to write both answers. Sometimes the word or throws people off and they think they can write just one answer or the other. No, you need to write this on your page. X equals 2 or x equals negative 3. Write both answers. Then I've got two other examples. The other examples are important because they work differently. This example in the middle, I have an absolute value equals a negative number. Well, remember, absolute value makes whatever is inside positive. So I could change x to be whatever I want. I could make the inside equal whatever I want. But no matter what the inside is, if you take the absolute value, can you get a negative number? Well, no, it always makes things positive. So this actually has no solutions. Anytime you get to a point where you see absolute value equals a negative number, you immediately say no solutions. That can never happen. That's a math rule, by the way. Sometimes I give you math rules that eventually we find examples where it breaks. That's a math rule that always works. Like, no matter how long you do math, that'll always be true. Last one over here. Let's go ahead and solve this. Again, I'm going to draw my vertical line. We deal with the outside first, so minus 5, minus 5. We've got absolute value of x plus 2 equals, well, 5 minus 5 is 0. Ooh. Now my right side is not positive or negative. Can an absolute value be equal to 0? Well, yes, if the inside is equal to 0, right? So if you were to split it like this, you would basically have equals 0 or equals negative 0, but negative 0 is just 0. So in this case, On the left, you've got two solutions. The middle one has no solutions. This one has one solution, and it's just when the inside stuff equals the number 0. So you can just go ahead and solve this, and you get x equals -2 as your answer.